Welcome to Love Your Garden. This is my own private little domain. Now the autumn has come, you can see, looking at this basket here, looking a bit bedraggled now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip it down and I'm going to recycle the compost, which is called spent compost. But don't let that go to waste, because that's a valuable commodity. So let's start to strip this down. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these odd flowers off this geranium. Now I'm going to keep these geraniums over the winter for planting next spring, and I'll show you what you have to do. It's quite interesting, and it gives you that insight into what happens with the garden. Now you can see this blue obelia now, it's looking a bit bedraggled, it's gone to seed, so now's the time to start stripping. So just pulling it out gently, take it round here. So what we're going to do, we're going to recycle the compost, and we're going to save the basket, so we store that away nicely for the spring. So these sort of flowers is not worth trying to save, because they've served their useful purpose, but we're going to save this geranium. Now I'll show you what we actually do with that, so it will last through the winter. I'm very fortunate that I have a greenhouse which I heat through the winter, so I can save quite a few geraniums. And I will show you my greenhouse as it's looking soon. Now, so we're going to tip this out like this. Can be a bit difficult, but you have to persevere. Gardening is all about saving yourself lots of work. There's the basket. Now that basket I will clean up with my hose pipe, give it a good wash, and put that away for next year. It's quite expensive. Now this covering here we're going to take off, and we're going to save as much of this spent compost as possible, because I will use that in my borders to improve the soil. And this happens every year around about this time, so you can see how I'm stripping that off. We won't use this again because it's really served its purpose. So, and then, now I've got the geranium here. Take all these loose bits away. Any loose bits, some are a bit difficult, get real rooted. So what we're going to do is take as much of this old compost away. A fork is a handy bit of tool, so dig that in there and get as much of it off. I don't waste any compost. It's too expensive these days to waste, so we can use it again. And the reason why I'm using the spent compost on the geraniums is because I will take them out of the pots next year, pot them off to where they're going to go. And you see there's a bit of hide. Shake this off, because you're saving as much as you can. Now we've got the geranium here. Now take as much of this. old leaves like this you see on the geranium, because don't forget this geranium has been hanging up all through the summer. It's given me a wonderful show of flowers. There's a yellow leaf there going, we don't want that on, so in here. Now you can see how this has actually happened now. Looking at it, you can see that looks a really nice plant and got a nice root ball, nice and compact, and that's going to last over the winter. So I'll put that down here. Now I just want to show you why I have my wheelbarrow, because I'm saving all this compost, and what I should do is this compost will improve my borders, which you see along here when I come to get them ready for the winter. Now there's enough fertilizer in this, because the geraniums and all the other plants that I will be saving you shouldn't have to feed them, because you gradually stop watering them and let them go to sleep for the winter, and in the spring you gradually wake them up again, so they spring up lovely new shoots ready for you to plant out. And a geranium like that one will cost you quite a bit of money at the garden centre, and you're going to save that, and I'll show you how I'm going to. Now that's the size pot I'm going to put it in. You take this spent compost, take it, and you can see how beautiful that is. Now fill the pot up about halfway. Any bits you can firm it down nicely. Now take the plant. It's very important the way you plant this, because you mustn't let any air get in the sides of the plant, because that will cause mold. So take your compost, start to one side and gradually push it down with your fingers like this. Turn it round, come this side, push it right down, and the plant will thank you for this care and attention. I always think plants are living things, and you have to look after them. If you don't look after them, you don't get a good result. So I always enjoy doing this, because I get lots and lots of satisfaction. And I'll show you when it's finished. You'll actually see, and I'll put it in the greenhouse and find a position for it which it will be really happy, and then gradually throughout October I will gradually cease watering it, very rarely, because the geraniums are continental plants. If you go to these hot countries like southern France and Spain, you'll see lots of geraniums flourishing ever so well, because they're drought tolerant, and you don't have to worry too much about watering a geranium, because they can survive on very little water. If you give them too much water, they won't thank you for it. So push it right down, a little bit around there. Any bits like this take out, leaf in the way there, take out, smooth the pot over. Now this time, because there's a yellow leaf there, take that off. Now I'm going to stand it down. Now that's lovely potted in, you can see the end result of that. So I've got my hose, I'll give it a nice little drink. This will be its last drink as such. I will spray these in October, November and December, just to keep them going. But if you come back at the end in spring, you'll see a difference. You'll see a beautiful geranium, which in the garden centres would cost you £15 to £20. So at the back, so all these pots have been planted up, ready to present, and there it goes in there, and that'll be very happy there. Really quite pleased. So you can see all the nice plants here, These are the ones I flushed these up today, so to keep them going. Done a few little cut-ins here. They're coming up, and you can see these pelargonians looking really nice. And I'm trying a little experiment. So if you come here, I'm growing a rose in the greenhouse, and you can see it's developed some nice buds, and I'm going to see how that goes. There's no disease on that rose, so that's the greenhouse gardening. And on the cold winter days, I can come here, sit in it, have a cup of tea. Thank you for watching. Look forward to speaking to you again. Goodbye.